Starving and exhausted, I finally arrived to the so-called Western frontiers. The land of the free, as it was promised to me, turned out to be nothing more than a sparsely populated red desert. But I've been on the run for far too long and couldn't even travel another mile, so I decided to settle there. I privatized some apples I found in a chest in one of the villages to have something to eat and recover with. After that, I lit a campfire and started working on a house and some basic necessities, like food source. I explored around for a bit and found some sort of a temple, something. This looks awfully like a church. I couldn't quite understand what it was, but inside of it, on a lectern, I found a strange book. It looked ancient and was full of some symbols that I didn't know. I spent some time trying to unravel the mystery of it, but was unsuccessful and returned home empty-handed. There, I kept working on my beginner farm. At first, it was small and produced very little, but after I gradually expanded it, food stopped being an issue for me. I also brought some wild cows from surrounding area to have a stable source of meat, milk and leather. I was enjoying my peaceful life and expanding my little camp when a traveler from a distant land stumbled upon my humble abode. But they turned out to be not a journeyman, but rather a refugee from the hostile lands of Ibaraki. They told me the story of their friends that were murdered for disobedience, and how they were the only one of their group lucky enough to survive. They also told me that Ibaraki already had a military and were set to expand and conquer. This was terrible news to me, since I knew the way of kings, generals and armies and what it brings. I also decided to show them the church and the book I found earlier. They brought my attention to the fact that the book material seemed very weird, almost as if it was made of flesh. We decided to leave this place alone, and shortly after, Curb said goodbye to me. I was deeply worried about Ibaraki and the possibility of an armed invasion of the frontier lands, so I decided to relay the news to our sheriff, Jesse Rovens. Are they here? I'm purposely not looking on the browser map because it's considered meta game and my character doesn't know where to find the sheriff, so I'm just assuming that they'll be here. I guess, I don't know, probably in their village, like a normal person. I should not be holding a sword. Okay, I just canonically used Discord to summon the sheriff. Knock knock. Oh, howdy. Come on in. Okay, so they invited me in. Well, since you're considered to be an authority here, I thought that you better get this information. A traveler visited my humble abode recently. They came from Ibaraki, a village somewhere in the east. They were more of a refugee than a traveler, and they told me an interesting story. You see, that village, Ibaraki, is a lot more organized than us. At least it seems to be the case. And they already have a military and some sort of hierarchy. And I see this development as a direct threat to us. What are your thoughts on this matter? I understand where you're coming from. A group with any sort of military is gonna pose as a threat, and I can't expect things to remain peaceful forever. Our issue down here is the freedom the people have, like a double-edged sword, you know? While each AM are unique and got their own thing going on, it makes us less united. We gotta get everyone on the same page while keeping the freedoms that the frontier brings. I know those threats exist and we need to prepare if we wanna stay afloat. It's just, how? Well, we need to incentivize people to join us with their forces, and we need to arm them with something. This all comes down to money and resources, which it doesn't look like we have an abundance of. We got the resources. I've got some connections brewing up in that area. They've got money and doors galore. Gave me gold and diamonds just for some terracotta. Quite nice folks over there. If we can secure some sort of deal with them, we can get a lot of gear off from over there. I'm glad to know that. I just don't want history to repeat itself, you know? You don't want to know what happened to my homeland. I agree. Although we're Rakhine people, I would prefer to have some morals and allies. Hey, Bit of a stretch, no worries if not, but any interest in helping me out a bit more? Like, as a deputy, my right-hand man? You seem passionate about these things. I think I could fill that role. Fantastic. Think we'd made a pretty decent team. But my experience is largely military focused. I don't really deal with civil matters that well. If it's okay with you, then sure. All good, sir. That's why we're looking to get a mayor as well, to be that person in the middle. 3-man team, like a triangle. Plus, we all gotta start somewhere. True, true. Well, thanks for the information, Deputy. I hope it serves you well, Sheriff. And so, I was made the deputy. I had another interesting conversation with one of the frontier citizens and managed to recruit him to my cause. Then, I went home and pondered what I should do next.